Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the Once and Future King once again with another video. So, Japan is an interesting country to say the least. There are so many crazy facts about Japan that honestly no other country can rival as far as my estimation goes. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. I've compiled a list of 20 facts that I have done my research on, and I do believe them to be true. Facts about Japan that might just leave you scratching your head. Of course, if you feel like any of these are wrong, please let me know in the comments with the appropriate research given to prove to me that they are wrong. But I have done my research on all of these, and I do believe that these are in fact true, and they are really insane, but a lot of them are a lot of fun as well, and I just wanted to share them with all of you guys, alright? So here they are, 20 facts about Japan that no other country can rival. Number 1. Late night dancing was illegal until 2015. Imposed after World War II, this law was put in place some time ago in order to crack down on prostitution, as late night clubs like that were often venues for vices. Dancing in venues without a dance license after midnight was illegal and you could be arrested. However, the ban was not regularly enforced in the 20th century, but it was revived in the 21st century when a series of celebrity-related drug busts led the police to reinforcing the law and requiring that clubs close at midnight. Number 2. Nearly all smartphones are waterproof because people use them even in the baths. Water-resistant phones have been the norm for over a decade in Japan. Nearly 90 to 95% of all cell phones sold in Japan are waterproof. Some people attribute this to the bathing culture in Japan. It's extremely common for people to soak in the bath to unwind after a hard day at work or school. And a lot of people like to have their phones in there, and they like the water resistant qualities just in case their phone happens to slip into the bath. So it does make perfect sense. Number 3. The world's oldest still running company was from Japan. Kongo Gumi was a construction company based in Japan and was the longest running company in history. It ran for over 1,400 years from the 500s AD until 2006. The company was founded by an immigrant from Korea who was contracted by the prince to build a Buddhist temple. The company was also involved in the construction of many historic buildings, such as Osaka Castle during the 16th century. Kongo Gumi was passed down through their family for 50 generations until it fell into financial ruin in 2006. The company was liquidated and absorbed as a subsidiary of the Takamatsu Construction Group, and it still technically runs today and constructs Buddhist temples. So technically it is still around even in 2021, just not in the way that it used to be. And on a side note, something else that's kind of interesting is that the other 5 oldest companies today are also from Japan, 3 of which are in the hospitality industry. Number 4. Japan consists of 6,852 islands. While it is widely known that Japan consists of many different prefectures, possibly hundreds, if not more, that each contain their different climates, not many people seem to be aware that Japan is actually an island nation. It is in fact the largest East Asian island country and the 4th largest island nation in the world. The 5 biggest islands in Japan are Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, Shikoku, and Osaka, which makes up about 97% of the land area altogether. The largest island by far is Honshu, which is considered the mainland of Japan. That being said, like I said before, there are well over 6,800 islands that make up Japan in total, but most of them are really tiny and uninhabited, which is probably why you've never heard of them, and likely never will after this video either. Number 5. Japan has a penis festival. Yeah, I'm not even going to ease into it with this one. This festival is known as Kanamara Katsuri, which literally translates to Festival of the Steel Phallus. The festival is celebrated in the city of Kawasaki on the first Sunday in April. The phallus is the star of the festival, and everything is shaped like a penis in its honor. This includes candy, carved vegetables, and decorations. The largest is the Mikoshi Parade, which sees large sculpted phalluses paraded around in a float shaped like a shrine. Now, as weird as this sounds, there is actually cultural significance to it, because there's cultural significance to everything in Japan, let's just be real now. It actually comes from an old Shinto fable. Legend has it that a demon once hid in the private parts of a goddess and bit two of her suitors' penises on their wedding night. A blacksmith then created an iron phallus, which broke the demon's teeth, causing it to flee. You cannot make this shit up, except clearly somebody did. The shrine is a haven for prostitutes, as well as people that have sexually transmitted diseases seeking a haven for prayer. People also pray for fertility, marriage, and businesses. Number 6. Taking a power nap at work is considered socially acceptable. The Japanese work the longest, most grueling hours than probably any other country in the world, and they also sleep the least amount of hours, even on the weekend. Thankfully, Japanese employers will usually allow their employees to take power naps at work. The term inemuri relates to this culture. It translates to sleeping while being present. Catching a quick snooze at work is actually a sign of being busy and productive rather than slacking off. There's also a strong culture of sleeping in other places publicly in Japan, as you often see people catching a quick shut-eye on trains or on park benches and other public places, not typically associated with sleeping. Some have said that this phenomena also attests to the high level of public safety in Japan. And yeah, I'd have to say so. I'm not fucking doing something like that in America, I'll tell you that much. Also, as much as sleeping at work does sound like a lot of fun, I still wouldn't be able to do that because, yeah, I don't think I'd wake back up. Although I have also heard that, Japanese coworkers do tend to be very close-knit, so I'm sure that someone would wake me up. Number 7. Slurping noodles is considered polite. In a country known for its extremely strict customs and manners, one dining rule continues to baffle visitors. Contrary to common table manners, loudly slurping noodles is considered good manners. The act of loudly slurping noodles while you're eating is actually considered good manners because it shows the chef that you're enjoying the meal. It's essentially paying compliments to the chef. In the same way that some cultures or families consider burping to be good manners, I guess. Slurping also has a scientific purpose. It's actually known to enhance the flavor of the noodles, especially soba noodles. Slurping helps to increase the smell and allows you to better perceive flavor dimensions. Number 8. The literacy rate in Japan is 99%. Literacy among citizens 15 and above ranges around 99%, which is one of the highest rates in the world. The literacy test evaluates the test taker's ability to read and write simple sentences and to solve basic math equations. Number 9. Japan is the world's second largest consumer of seafood. Japan has a seafood consumption footprint of 7.4 million tons, approximately the weight of 37,000 blue whales. In consumption, Japan has a seafood consumption footprint of 7.4 million tons, approximately the weight of 37,000 blue whales. In comparison, the United States, with a population of 2.5 million times larger than Japan, has a seafood consumption footprint of 7.1 million tons. Fish and seafood consumption per capita in 2017 was 45.49 kilograms. But in the bubble economy, years from the mid-80s to 2000s, per capita consumption was even higher, averaging 70K per person. That's like eating sushi for 3 meals a day, 206 days a year. Number 10. Tokyo is the most populous metropolitan area in the world. Greater Tokyo is the most populated metropolitan area in the world, with 38 million people residing in Tokyo and the 3 neighboring prefectures. That's 30% of Japan's total population. Greater Tokyo covers approximately 13,500 kilometers, and it includes Tokyo Metropolis and the surrounding prefectures such as Kanagawa, Chiba, and Saitama. In comparison, New York City covers 784 kilometers, approximately half the area of Greater Tokyo. Number 11. Adult diapers actually sell more than baby diapers. More than a quarter of Japanese population is over 65, and birth rates are at a record low. According to the Pew Research Center, there are more diapers produced for adults than for babies, and Japan's aging population is likely the cause. This change in customer demographics is also the resulting in a shift in most industries, which includes food, retailing, and hygiene. Number 12, a Pokemon episode caused epileptic seizures in kids. Pokemon is a well-loved anime series, and the adorable Pocket Monsters are household names worldwide. However, the series hides a dark incident in the past. In 1997, 685 children were rushed to hospitals in Japan after a Pokemon episode induced epileptic seizures. The episode, called Den-o Senshi Porygon, contained intense flashing strobe lights. The red and blue lights blinked at a rate of 12 flashes per second for a total of 6 seconds. It triggered photosensitive epilepsy in some of the children. Others experienced milder symptoms, such as nausea, headaches, temporary blindness, and seizures. The incident was dubbed the Pokemon Shock by the Japanese press. Pokemon stopped airing for 4 months after the incident and had to rework some of the scenes to prevent similar incidences from happening again. New episodes also included warnings for children to watch the anime in a well-lit room at a distance from the television. It should also be mentioned that I don't think that episode ever aired in the United States. Although I believe there were some versions of the DVDs that did contain it. I'm not 100% sure though. But either way, it wasn't nearly as big of a scandal in the United States, at the very least. Number 13. Japan contains over 5 million vending machines. Here's a fact for you. There are more vending machines in Japan than there are McDonald's in the United States, which is just over 14,100. Vending machines are found almost everywhere in Japan, and they're loved for their convenience. Japan's public safety levels have helped ensure that these vending machines are rarely vandalized, allowing them to be placed almost everywhere. Most vending machines in Japan sell soft drinks, tea, and coffee. Others sell age-restricted items such as alcoholic beverages and cigarettes. Vending machines selling such products require special ID for age verification. Some of the more peculiar vending machines even let you buy rice, fortune-telling slips of paper, and live rhinoceros beetles, which are a type of bug that are very popular in Japan. Number 14. More paper is used for printing manga than for toilet paper. You've likely seen videos of Japanese toilets and their futuristic automated big bidets that spray warm water and air dry people's bottoms. Most people use bidets in Japan, and toilet paper isn't used as much as in other countries. On the other hand, manga or graphic novels are widely read by people of all ages. Manga has had a long history. It was first introduced in the Meiji era as comic strips in magazines to encourage literacy in children. Number 15. Sumo wrestlers compete with each other to see which one can make a baby cry first. Every April, the 400-year-old Naki Sumo Baby Crying Festival, yes, that's actually a thing, I'm not fucking making this up, takes place in Sensoji Temple. Parents bring their children to the festival in the hopes of ensuring good health, and sumos will carry them on stage and try to make them cry. Some of them pull a scary face or even yell at the babies. to try and get them to wail. If all else fails, a scary mask is used to get them going. While it may be weird to voluntarily make your child cry, it is believed that getting babies to bawl, they can chase off any demons who are lurking nearby. The contest also has an attractive prize. The best crier is promised a long and healthy life. Because, that's something they can promise. Remember that. Number 16, Norway is actually the country that introduced salmon sushi to the Japanese. While many of us think that salmon sushi is a Japanese staple, raw salmon wasn't there in their diet until the 1990s. The Japanese did eat salmon before that, but it was served cured or grilled, not raw. The Japanese believed that salmon caught in the Pacific was unclean and exposed to parasites, as well as not being fatty enough to taste good. That's why it was never served raw as salmon before the 1990s. Norway began exporting salmon from the Atlantic in the 1980s, but it took 15 years of market research and campaigning before the Japanese finally began to put raw salmon slices onto vinegared rice balls. Changing the Japanese perspective on raw salmon was a multi-million endeavor that involved tireless campaigning. However, it paid off. It also opened new mines for Norway. It also opened new markets for Norway, and they began to export other Asian countries, such as Hong Kong, South Korea, and Singapore. Number 17, Japan imports approximately 85% of Jamaica's annual coffee production. Japan is known as a tea-centric nation, but coffee also plays a large part in the hectic lives of the average Japanese salaryman. Coffee is widely consumed there, with the average adult drinking more than 10 cups a week. It's no surprise that Japan imports so much coffee from Jamaica, too. Blue Mountain coffee, a high-quality type of coffee from the Blue Mountain region in Jamaica, is sought after by avid coffee drinkers in Japan who are willing to pay premium prices for them. Number 18. Smoking indoors was considered acceptable until just recently. Japan has one of the largest tobacco markets in the world, and smoking in establishments such as restaurants and Kinson's old-school coffee shops is considered socially acceptable. In April 2020, a citywide ban on smoking indoors came into effect. This was part of the efforts from Tokyo to become more tourist-friendly for the now-delayed 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Many people have bemoaned this ban, stating that it was part of their culture. Others strongly supported the move to increase the number of non-smoking areas in other cities as well. Number 19. Fortune cookies originated from Japan. Even though fortune cookies are served in almost every American Chinese restaurant, it didn't originate in China like most of us think. Instead, it was based on a cookie made in Kyoto. The Tsujira Senbei is visually similar to the modern fortune cookie, but it contains miso and sesame rather than vanilla and butter. The Tsujira Senbei is still sold in some parts of Japan, such as the neighborhood of the Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto. The modern fortune cookie is believed to have been created by Japanese immigrants in the 20th century and is served at the end of a meal in Chinese restaurants in the US today. It's likely that the immigrants were inspired by the temples of their homeland and slipped in the fortune-telling slips of paper into the cookies. And last but not least, number 20. The original geishas were actually men and not women. Walking down the streets in Kyoto, you're likely to come across a beautifully dolled-up lady dressed as an intricately embroidered kimono, with only the click-clacking of her slippers announcing her presence. You've met a geiko, or geisha, as they're called in Tokyo, a refined lady skilled in the art of traditional Japanese performances. Many foreigners mistakenly assume that geisha are ladies of the night. This is likely because sex workers of the past dressed similarly to the geisha. However, the original geisha are far from what they've been portrayed as in media. They were actually men. Geisha literally translates to arts person, and the term was used to describe taiko-mochi, male entertainers who performed for their feudal lords, much like the jesters of the West. The first female geisha were introduced in 1751, which made waves in the entertainment scene back then. They were instead called geiko, or arts child, and their popularity spread quickly. Soon they outnumbered the original male geishas, which could be why we see geishas today as all female, even though that was not the case originally. And that does it for this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts on all of these facts were, if you found them interesting, what you felt the most interesting or the most shocking ones were, or if you already knew all these and I was just wasting my breath, who knows. If this video does well enough, I might do another one in the future, but I have a lot of other Japanese related videos like this that I want to make first, regardless. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content in the future and hit that notification bell so you always know whenever I upload a new video, because I release new videos every Monday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. And also like the video and comment down below, because that will help out my channel as well. Also, if there are any other really interesting or crazy facts about Japan that you think people should know about, please make sure to leave them in the comments too, because I'm always interested in stuff like that, especially about Japan. And make sure to share this video around wherever you can to try to get it and my channel more attention. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you all next time.